First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello!
Hello, hello, hello!
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next, live on Twitch. Hello, Twitch Universe.
Good morning, Twitch. How are we doing today?
Yeah, good morning indeed.
Good evening if you're like in Australia, Japan, New
Yeah.
Zealand, wherever. Good afternoon in the UK.
Yeah.
Very much good morning here in Toronto.
So, we're Up Next. We do NXT podcasts. We go live after every NXT Wednesday nights, but we do a bunch of other stuff, including patreon.com/upnext, because we're recording this show for Patreon, which if you have to leave anytime during this live, sign up. It'll be available to all the tiers when we're done recording this. So we're going to dive into some Wrestle Kingdom, because oh boy, it was not only a night, but two.
It was a 2-night extravaganza. Yeah, let's maybe start the recording and then we can go a bit more into
Let's go.
How we feel at 7 a.m. after a marathon. But yeah, we would love, kind of as we're talking about the matches and stuff, I might throw to the Twitch chat and try and get some like sound bites from you guys. So let us know your opinions as you go along. And if you are signed up to the Patreon, as Braden said, patreon.com/upnext. Leave your like more detailed feedback there, because we'll be going through that at the end. But we are going to be going through night 1 and night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom.
Strap in.
So as we say here, LFG.
Let's do this. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next, the Patreon, and the Twitch, twitch.tv/upnext.
Hello,
podcast.
Twitch room.
Now, usually I say welcome to the show and all that stuff, but I gotta say good morning.
Good morning.
You can hear the birds, the sun's out.
Yep,
out.
We'll hear Singing Man soon.
Yeah, it'll be all over. Yes, breakfast with the BDE is what this is. Welcome to our New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 15 post show.
We did it.
Wow.
We did it.
We made it.
Yeah. This was the event where was it going to happen? It's been a crazy year with the pandemic and everything. New Japan, as well as the rest of the world, went into lockdown, started to come back at the end of the summer with the like New Japan Cup and all that. And people kept on going, is there going to be a dome show? Is there going to be a dome show? Will it be the same if there's a dome show? And they did 2 nights again. We'll talk about later whether we think that was a good move or not. I'm imagining it's more of a financial thing this time round, whereas last year it fell on the weekend. But yeah, we had 2 dome shows, and it kind of felt like Wrestle Kingdom, so it was nice.
It did. January 4th is Japanese Wrestling Day, as far as I'm concerned, and they've added the second night, and that's what it is. 2 dome shows in one shot. 1 year, and they did it here in a pandemic. Obviously, it's weird looking and watching listening, because the crowd obviously cut in a big. I mean, they had a crowd, which is astonishing to begin with, but then everyone is spread out, and then they can't speak. You're not allowed to make noises. The only noise you can make is by clapping or those tube things.
Hitting the tube together.
Yeah. Where was those vuvuzelas?
They needed the horns, all of that.
Maybe they did.
Oh, I think it would have added. And maybe just give them out for the main event.
Yeah, true.
Just to make it feel.
Oh, then it would feel insane.
Once it hit the 30-minute mark,
crescendo.
You can then reach under your table and just have a big horn.
Yeah,
be great.
Wouldn't that be great in all things?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna dive in here because it's 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, this is a lot to take in. So as I did, I got my green tea. I got my spliff, and I was set to strap in for some wrestling. We watched night 1. I watched on a little bit of a delay. I did an overnight shift at the TV station. Then I came home and just powered through and stayed up till like 9 or 10, and then finished it. Did you watch? You watched a little bit of it live.
I watched the Rambo live,
Nice.
and it almost put me in a coma.
Rambo.
And then I watched the tag match that kicked off the show, and then I watched the rest today. So last year, I think we were both working for night one, and we decided it would be a great idea to watch night one in the evening whilst drinking, and then go out before the bars closed.
Remember when we could go out?
Yeah. Close down the bar, and then come back for night two, and we did all of night two, and then recorded a show.
Yeah.
And we were all death. We were joined by a friend of the show, Jesse from the Six, and we were dead. This time round, watched it during the day.
Yep.
Had a 30-minute nap just before night two. Been drinking on my green tea.
Yeah.
Got one of these stevia caffeine drinks.
Wow.
I don't know what it is, but it's lovely.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling quite perky.
I'm on the green tea and the green sativa, and then we strapped in and watched some of this wrestling, and it's kind of become a little bit of a tradition for us now. At least because when it was one night, we just watch it one night. But when it's two nights here at the time zone in Toronto, it's hard to do two of these in a row. So even during a time when we're locked inside, but we still got lives and stuff, and it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
So we kind of had our little tradition now where we watch the second night live, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience, and obviously at upNXT Podcast and at the Braden and at Davie Portman, because we were tweeting away, and there's different people in different time zones that are up watching wrestling when we're asleep usually. So it was interesting, and it was nice to see a different community of different wrestling fans.
I feel I'm quite happy for the Aussies and the UK listeners we have, because they're watching it at more of a sociable hour. In the UK, okay, it's a little early, but you're getting up and having proper breakfast.
Yeah.
And by the time it's main event, it's around 10, 11 a.m. That's pretty nice. But well, we have it quite lucky in North America most of the time.
Well, we did it. We felt the struggle and watched it early hours of the night, the wee hours of the night, and we're here to talk about it both. So I say we kind of jump into it. Usually we dissect things, especially on shows like Best Match Ever and stuff. We dissect and go think. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna move through stuff I didn't really care for.
Yes.
And definitely go deeper into the stuff
for sure
I absolutely
adored. I think give more general thoughts rather than breaking down move for move.
I will say we watched the English feed here.
Yes.
English speaking household is the BDE.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I have anything against I love listening to the others, but it made sense for us to watch. Kevin Kelly, Rocky Romero, and Chris Charlton. No Gino Gambino.
No Gino Gambino. He did send me a lovely tweet, though.
Yeah.
He tweeted out that it's the year anniversary since his coffee-stained T-shirt happened. Well, nice dress shirt.
Yeah.
And I tweeted back going, oh, well, that's the year anniversary of this being my WhatsApp wallpaper.
Yeah, it's been a group chat wallpaper for a while.
For a long
just
time.
This picture of this guy, so yeah, it's great.
But the show also started off with no Rocky Romero. He was being casually late. Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton, not sure where he is. And we go into the Rambo. And I've got two notes for this.
Okay, hit me.
First note is terrible. The second note is why bother? But we'll try and go into this maybe a bit more. They brought back the New Japan Rumble, the Rambo.
21 man?
21 man. I'm pretty sure it used to just be over the top rope. Now they've added its DQ, count out, pinfall, submission.
Ridiculous.
Chase Owens had been pushing to be number one.
Great.
And then number 2 and 3 are Suzuki and Ishii. So okay, the rules with this one is the final 4 will go on to night 2 to fight for the King of Pro Wrestling title. So I'm like, okay, we might get Ishii and Suzuki doing some cool shit, but they're pretty much immediately eliminated. You got Goto coming out looking like he wants to be anywhere else. He's in his pajamas wrestling. Yoshihashi's in his pajamas as well. Doki comes in, knows you get eliminated if you get DQ'd, so just gets himself DQ'd. It was dull. There was nothing necessarily creative about it. There was a bit towards the end where you had Yoda Tsuji, Gabriel Kidd, I'm blanking on the other young lion's name, but Yuya Uemura, and you start to go, oh, maybe this is a way to get the young lions having a match, and we'll have 3 young lions and someone else to kind of wrestle in the Kopal Championship, whatever it's called. But alas, no.
King of Pro Wrestling.
They were eliminated, and you ended up Toru Yano making his entrance, not even getting in the ring before he realized that he's in the Final Four.
Wow.
So it was Bushi, Bad Luck Fale, Chase Owens, and Toru Yano going to night 2 when you have the likes of Suzuki and Ishii not booked on anything.
That's exactly where I don't. This Rumble thing is kind of the only real low point of these 2 nights here, where if you're someone who's watched this for a little while, you realize that there's a lot of just like wasted space here when you want to see some of these hard hitting guys and characters that they have being booked. And yeah, specifically for me as well, Tomohiro Ishii and Minoru Suzuki should just be in a singles fucking match for 30 plus minutes, and it would be an amazing piece of art.
Even 8 minutes would have been good with these two.
I think fantasy booking here, I guess. But.
I think I'm not as negative on battle royals on these kind of shows as other people. It's a way to get everyone on. You can often get some like nice returns for a pop. I think it's a great way of getting those seats filled and getting people kind of buzzed for it. But you need to do some entertaining moments throughout it. And there was really nothing in this. It was just throwing over the top or a pinfall. There was nothing clever, nothing interesting. A dud for me to start with. Yeah,
well, it was very weird, and it leads to the Final Four that we go into a match the next night from tonight. But the official opening start of Wrestle Kingdom Night 1 was the guy dressed as Don King, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just...
This was the star of Night 1, for sure.
Yeah, this guy? Yeah, for sure. Our opening match, though, is for the determine factor here to see who will challenge against Ishimori night 2, and this is the battle of the best here, the best of the Super Juniors and the Super J Cup.
Yes.
So it's like coming together to find out who is the best of the best of the best of the best.
Absolutely.
Of the best. Hiromu Takahashi going up against El Phantasmo, the Headbanger Club. I have some notes here. Of course, Takahashi's going for his sunset bombs in this match. But Phantasmo showing off some like Lucha Libre stuff. I know we watch a lot of AEW Dynamite, and the Hybrid 2 feel like this guy would
fit right in.
Yeah, they do Raven, going to Comfort
They all
Zone.
see the same guy, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. They got the hookups. I don't know about over in Japan, but they got the hookups. There's some cool stuff, but El Phantasmo, I think, is pretty talented, but I find there's something still not quite clicking in the terms of like a flow of a match for me, where I kind of felt this one was a little all over the place and not too on the ball. And it's an El Phantasmo, of course, a Bullet Club, and the Bullet Club feels like it's been beat to death already, but he's going through all the Bullet Club moves in this match and kind of teasing the One-Winged Angel at one point, but it was broken up. And he's like finger biting and all that, and it ends up being Hiromu who counters his like what is it, like the CR2 or the weird gotch kind of pile driver neutralizer type move, but it's countered into this like sweet West Coast pop from Hiromu to get the win here, and he gets to go to night 2. But what did you think of that match? It
was okay.
I didn't hate it.
There were some cool spots. That senton from Hiromu to the outside early on was nuts. El Phantasmo's balance, his rope walk's always super impressive. As you said, there was no flow, though. There was no connective tissue from each moment. So individually, there were lots of cool gifts, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But then there wasn't much of a flow between them. The Bullet Club callbacks were cool. I especially liked the One-Winged Angel into kind of the victory roll. I thought that was pretty awesome. But I felt there was no escalation to the finish either. The finish kind of came out of nowhere. I think El Phantasmo is a great prick. Like, he's just so unlikable when you watch, as a heel should be.
Yeah.
And I know he winds a lot of people up, but I'm kind of down with that. Like, a heel shouldn't be a cool guy. A heel should be someone you think's a complete arsehole, and I do think he plays that well. But for an opener, I thought there were enough high spots in this to kind of get me pumped for the rest of the show.
Yeah, it was fast, and I'm a big fan of Takahashi. I like Phantasmo, but there's definitely next step there that needs to kind of click, where someone like Takahashi's all over the place, but that's kind of his shtick too, the time bomb. So more to see of him night 2 as he challenges for the junior heavyweight, as we'll get to. We have a tag team match next, and it's for the IWGP Tag Team Championship. The Gorillas of Destiny going up against Dangerous Techers. So this is Tamatonga and Tangaloa versus Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. Oh boy. Going into this match, it's basically Taichi likes choking people a lot in this match. And then I know we watched the G1 in 2020. I know we all are high on Taichi in the kick match, Kota Ibushi, and some of his other matches. But Taichi, I feel like when he wants to turn it on, he can kind of turn it on. Because he has some spots in this match that are like, huh.
Oh, yeah. I actually thought I wasn't really looking forward to this one at
me
all.
neither.
The story going in was kind of GOD have won the title a million times, but they've never won it or retained it at Wrestle Kingdom. But it was interesting seeing the Dangerous Techers kind of play the baby faces here in this match. But yeah, I thought it was a entertaining kind of mid-card match. I wouldn't say it's an outstanding tag, but it exceeded my expectations, and I actually quite enjoyed this one.
The Samoan driver, the Rikishi driver, was the finish here. So the Gorillas of Destiny are the new IWGP Tag Champions. What's going to happen with the Techers? Are they going to split? Are we going to get vignettes of Taichi trying to convince Zack Sabre Jr. to sing karaoke with him?
I don't think you can sing anywhere there right now. But I think both of these guys are great in singles as well. So
I think isn't there
they
like
can go in the mix for that.
Don't the tag titles always change hands?
All the titles.
Yeah, all the titles
flip around.
just here flip everywhere. It's hard to keep track, but there is. I think they always change hands at Wrestle Kingdom.
People in the Twitch room are saying that this match put them to sleep. Well, it was more the GOD lads put them to sleep. Zack Sabre Jr. had a sick hot tag, and Rishi just thinks it was a match.
Yeah, I'm not too hot on the Gorillas of Destiny. They kind of are still in the same position I feel like they were.
I feel they need to go to a different company at this point. I think they're good, but we've seen them there doing this stuff for years now.
It's kind of the same thing. It's very
exactly.
repetitive.
And I feel if you mix them up with a different tag division, whether it be like an Impact, even NXT need tag teams, you know?
Yeah.
I think it could freshen them up because I think they're solid, but I'm just bored of seeing them in New Japan.
We have a video sent in. I say video because the person is not there, but it is the North American champion here, Jon Moxley.
US type.
Yeah, sorry. US champ. Jon Moxley. He sends in a little video, and it seems like it was like he probably cut a promo, and then they just went snip, and okay, well, air you saying the title, you'll fight someone. Because I feel like there wasn't really much of a promo. Like, it just said, I want to fight whoever wins the briefcase.
Yeah, he was talking about kind of pandemic and not being able to fight. He was in a New Japan Strong ring.
He's
so
he's in America.
Yeah, so it's giving the impression that, and commentary after, they kind of solidified that the winner of this US title match is going to face Jon Moxley very soon, and that will be the next match.
But you get your Moxley like shot, or he's somehow connected and he's kind of filling you in, but it is a little like but
I don't think at this point the match is already announced for tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't have any expectations by now to have Moxley on it, but just to see that promo video I thought was cool. It's nice to know that this title isn't just going to be vacated. Seeing him stood in a New Japan Strong ring in the US, it makes you realize, okay, something's been worked out at this point where Mox is going to defend pretty soon, I'd imagine.
These briefcases.
Everyone's
got briefcases. At least they got briefcases. WWE doesn't really do the briefcase thing too well. I mean, is the Miz got it back, right?
Miz has got it back again,
yeah. Was he on Legends Night?
Who?
The Miz.
Yeah, he kicked it off, I think.
Oh, sounds great.
We'll talk about Goldberg at the end.
Yeah, a little bit. We have our next match, which is for the IWGP United States Championship. Kenta defending against Satoshi Kojima. So obviously Moxley ain't showing up here, and they needed someone. So why not have the Bullet Club take on the Bread Club?
Well, bear in mind as well, it was meant to be Juice Robinson in this match, and his face exploded.
Yeah,
so
I hope his face is okay. Honestly, yeah, that really sucks. So they had to find someone, and they landed on Kojima. Yeah. So, you know what? At first, I kind of wasn't really into it, and I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt and was trying to get into it. And it kind of was... I feel like I've lost interest in Kenta as well, so it really just didn't really have steam going in. But then there was some spots that kind of got me into it. There's Kenta with his huge stomp, kind of like the Finn Balor type move. But Kojima has like some glimmers here where you're like, okay, he's coming back. He keeps going for the cozy lariat. It's oh so cozy. But then eventually hits, I think, the cozy cutter. And he gets some things in. He does hit the lariat at one point, but it's Kenta who hits him with the GTS to retain the U.S. title.
I have been enjoying Kenta since the kind of the heel turn, and I think he's really come into his own a lot more. They said this means that Kenta's now defended the US title briefcase more times than any US champion's ever been able to successfully defend their title, which like makes him a legit contender now, I think. This match I went in with zero expectations, and I thought it was pretty solid. Again, it didn't quite feel Wrestle Kingdom worthy, but there was absolutely nothing bad about this match. I think the problem was there was zero stakes. At no point did I think Kojima was going to win this.
He hit that cozy lariat, though.
And I think this was an opportunity to maybe put Suzuki in there as the replacement for Juice, because Suzuki and Mox have already had that feud. So I think I'd watch this and go, you could do Suzuki Mox, you know?
Yeah.
I could see a rematch of that. So, but it was always going to be Kenta winning, which kind of took the air out of this one for me. But I did think it was a fairly solid match.
Yeah, I had nothing wrong with it. Like I said, at first I was like, I don't really care. But I did get into some parts of it, and I thought it was pretty good. Kojima, he still got it. Whatever it is, he still got it. We had a commercial with Naito. It looked like he was eating at a Caesarea in Japan somewhere. And they announced some sort of video game. Some sort of gaming something's coming.
Intrigued.
Yeah, we'll see.
We need better wrestling games.
Yeah, especially if you follow us on Twitch. We use 2K19 because 2K20 sucks. So AEW games, people are on that.
I mean, that's definitely a thing. 2020 sucks. Yeah.
2020 just in general.
Yeah.
Yes. We go to our next match here, Wrestle Kingdom Night 1. Hiroshi Tanahashi going up against Great O-Khan. A lot of people just went, who? Who is this guy? Yeah, okay, so Will Ospreay's buddy, new guy here, back
part
from
of the
Excursion.
Empire.
Yeah, part of the Empire. Great O-Khan. He likes question marks. He's like the Riddler.
Yeah.
He.
I do quite like his entrance gear. It's weird.
It's really weird. He's got Aladdin pants.
Yeah.
And, I don't quite understand.
He's very, like, he's coming out like some kind of emperor.
Genie.
Isn't he? Yeah.
He's got a cool mouth guard that's pretty scary. But this guy is kind of placed in where they say that this happens a lot. When a guy comes back from Excursion, what should I do? What can I do? I don't know. Maybe I'll challenge Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom. I didn't know much about the Great O-Khan. I know he's done stuff, like we said, in Excursion, Rev Pro and
he
stuff.
did a lot in Rev Pro, I believe.
So it makes sense with the Ospreay connection. But this was like a real kind of test to see. I always look back at a few years ago, Jay White in that slot was placed against Tanahashi. The Wrestle Kingdom I went to, and I remember being like, I totally thought Jay White kind of shit the bed in that match. And then fast forward, it didn't ruin Jay White. He's still killing it, and I'll definitely be talking about how awesome I think Jay White has improved and stuff. But this was a tough spot for O-Khan because I don't want to just say I didn't really thought he lived up to the hype, but to me this did look a lot like Tanahashi was carrying this match,
which realistically is what it should be. Like he's the veteran, and O-Khan is new.
He's got some technical stuff, and I liked it. Some knee bars and takedowns.
I kind of went in with zero expectations for this. I haven't watched any of his matches leading up to this. Someone in the Twitch room informed us that he was actually undefeated in Rev Pro during his run. But yeah, I thought he didn't do a bad job. He's got an awesome look. Like, this looks like
he looks scary.
A scary dude. I kind of like his entrance attire and everything. And look, this is your... You know what they say with stand-up comedy? Like, your first stand-up isn't going to be good, you know? And I'd say this was a pretty good first effort for a huge stage like Wrestle Kingdom. And as you said, Jay White, like, look where he is now. This is a project, and when this is a company that so many of the matches that were booked, I'm scratching my head and I'm trying to look to see where we're going, kind of who's the generation in 5 years in the company. There aren't that many guys I can see, so I'm kind of pleased that they're at least trying with this guy, because I do think there is an upside to him, and I didn't think the match shat the bed or anything.
I didn't think that.
It's just you're looking at Tanahashi and you go, I still want like another great Wrestle Kingdom match out of him.
And it felt like he could have delivered, but it was fine. And our Twitch chat saying that Great Okan is like based on some, if I'm reading this correctly, because a lot of people are writing it's something about a Chinese ghost story. Apparently, the character is based on or something. Someone said he's also a vampire. I'm missing out on the character, but. He's got the technical skill. I definitely kind of reminded me.
I did like his knee bar.
Yeah. He looked pretty good. But it's Tanahashi with the skimming the cat and then the high fly flow twice. At least you got your high fly flow at Wrestle Kingdom twice, one to the back and then the front. It's the only way to put him to bed.
Oh yeah,
that double high fly. I still love Tanahashi, but Great Okan loses here. Empire's 0-1 at this point.
0-1.
Yeah, which leads us to our next match, which is, I'd say, the match with the most weight on their shoulders. The one that everyone was kind of had their eyes on. It's not for any title, but it's for respect.
Yeah.
Right? I'm talking about Will Ospreay going up against Kazuchika Okada, Wrestle Kingdom, Night 1, and Ospreay, the Commonwealth Kingpin.
I gotta say, I like Ospreay as a heel. I think when he was leaning into that cocky side in the G1, I think even his entrance attire he was coming out with earlier in the year, with all the feathers and the extravagance, I liked. I don't buy him as this Commonwealth Kingpin character at all. Mm-hmm. Like in the promo video, seeing him in these suits, he's not Ric Flair, you know? Like that, it doesn't look like the flashiest suit. It looks like he got Ray-Bans from Kensington Market. Like, you know.
They're probably really expensive.
I don't think they are. I think he got some knockoffs. Like, it looks like a guy pretending.
I liked his suit. No, I liked his suit. I thought he looked pretty... I don't understand the character, whatever. He's good. He changes his nickname every year. Like, if you look at it. He's the assassin, the aerial assassin to the assassin. Now it's the Commonwealth thing. I'm like, whatever. I thought he looked good in the suit. And it's also, he's with his wifey here, Bea Priestley. And I think they look pretty like good as a couple.
Coming out, yeah. I just don't buy this character for him. I buy him as a heel. Yeah. I think he should just be a cocky, arrogant prick who flips around the place and pisses the veterans off. But he's not Ric Flair, which I feel he's kind of trying to be.
No, I don't feel like he's trying to be Rick. I feel like he's trying to be this.
He's done the whole snobby, look at my watch thing and all that. Like
he's trying to do like more maybe like snobby, more Conor McGregory. But yeah, I see what you mean. But he then comes out and he's got like the crazy gear again. So it's like
he looked great coming out.
I like the video because it's showing the clips of them fighting before, Okada and Ospreay, and then he takes the baseball bat to the TV. Like a retro TV, and then it scrambles, and then it's like he's gonna rewrite the history here tonight, beating his mentor. And I actually, this is the match I was most looking forward to out of both days. I thought that the story here with Okada is the guy who brought Ospreay into New Japan, and the whole story we all know. And then for him, storyline wise, to turn on Okada. You're pissed off because everyone just turns on Okada.
Yeah.
Okada's like the nice guy in the relationship.
Well, don't be so good then, Okada.
Yeah.
If you weren't so good at wrestling, you don't see anyone turning on Yoshihashi, do you?
Yeah. It's sad. He reminds me of like the nice guy, and he's always getting turned on because he's nice. He's so good. He's the best, and no one likes the best because they're jealous.
Jealousy.
And that's what Ospreay is. So Ospreay comes out, and he looking fly, him and Bea Priestley here with the green. He's in all green, emerald green, because he also looks like money, because he believes that's the most important thing. And to get all the money is to stop the Rainmaker. He will stop the rain. Okada last year had the epic entrance with the glow in the dark. Here he comes out, classic entrance. The crazy stage setup here, by the way, in the Tokyo Dome. But with the new glow in the dark, he clearly went to the last person who did his gear and was like, yo, that shit was a hit. I need more glow in the dark gear.
But it's more like red now. It looked really cool.
Oh, it's the GOAT, Okada. I will say I have way more notes on this match because I was super into it, and I'm a nerd, and we do this for a living, and we tend to write down things. It's weird when we don't watch things we note down because then I'm like, yeah. So Okada, I have to say, hits a tope con hero like right off the top, which you don't see Okada usually hit. So it's already kind of a different story here, and I really like the story of Okada. Still, they hate each other. Well, Okada's kind of mad, but he's not quite into that like next gear. But then he gets pushed to that limit, and I thought the story was fantastic. They're flying around, and the commentary, Kevin Kelly's pissed off about his plexiglass. There's reverse Bloody Sundays.
You need to secure those barricades.
Oh, man.
You know, as soon as they were like thrown into them, you know Ospreay's going to try and do some kind of springboard
flying
off of them.
around.
And poor Kevin Kelly's plexiglass is just going all over the place.
Yeah, he's screaming. It's a great call. There's then like drop kicks into like a power bomb from Ospreay that was really slick. There's like this suplex from Ospreay to Okada on the outside, like onto one of the commentary tables, and this like cuts Okada up. He went through it. It didn't even break fully. It's like an actual table.
This whole spot was terrifying because I don't know if you noticed, but a camera guy almost got kicked in the face when they were kind of struggling with the lifts for the suplexes and stuff. Ospreay's foot was just like going at this camera guy, and someone else has to tell him because the camera's in your face, right? So you can't really see what's going on. Like, you're almost going to get kicked.
This spot was dangerous.
Oh, this was so scary and looked fantastic.
It looked killer here. Okada looks like he's dead. And Ospreay, of all the people here, he goes, I'm not beating Okada with a countout. I didn't come here to beat the Rainmaker on a technicality. So he helps him up. He not helps him, but he's dragging him back into the ring. They go at it again, and it's Okada hitting a tombstone at one point. There's then the money clip, everyone's favorite submission hold. And he has that locked in. There's then a twisting tombstone, more money clips, and then money clip where Ospreay, I will say, has sold it the best it's looked because Ospreay sells it like he's out cold.
Yeah.
Drooling.
This looked like a good submission here.
Yeah, it looked lit.
His cheeks were puffing, his eyes bulging, he was like spluttering for air.
But he gets his feet to the ropes here. Cutter, then there's like these like slaps and stomps, and now Ospreay is just being super disrespectful. He has Okada down, and as he has the high ground, he's like just being such a dick here. But then, of course, there's the Okada who comes back with the Okada drop kick, and then a spinning Rainmaker. Now we all kind of went, well, okay, well it was technically a Rainmaker, but it's technically the spinning.
He's done the short arm and he's done the spinning, but we haven't seen the classic.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So we then get, it's Ospreay who counters Okada and hits him with a tombstone of his own, and then Will Ospreay does the Rainmaker pose, and he hits the Rainmaker on the Rainmaker, but Okada kicks out at 2, and Ospreay can't believe it. He gets up, they go back and forth, there's a sit-out tombstone, and then Okada has had enough. It is the Rainmaker. And I mentioned that this crowd is not allowed to make noises with their they can clap, but they can't say anything or cheer anything. They didn't care here. They lost their mind. You could hear the gasping, the sounds coming alive here as Okada crushes Ospreay. The crowd is buzzing, and Okada pins Ospreay in a banger of a match here. Wow. Crazy. The crowd coming alive for that Rainmaker, and of course this whole year of 2020, this weird story of Okada's like, I don't need the Rainmaker. And then he's like, fuck, I think I need the Rainmaker. And he pulls it out here. The crowd the whole night is sitting on their hands, biting they're like, we want to support. It was like a phenomenal sound to hear them come alive. It was crazy.
It was great. It was my match of night one. I thought it was a shame the crowd weren't allowed to go more wild.
Right.
For me, this would have probably gone up a grade with a normal Wrestle Kingdom crowd. I thought Bea Priestley was fantastic. You see kind of the valet, the manager whatever you want to call them, on the outside, normally just going, come on, and banging on the apron. She was going like, he's behind you, Will. Yeah. He's over there. He's getting up, Will. Like, all the time. Like, he's over there telling him, coaching him. And I really liked that. I thought that worked really well. I think both guys showed a different side of them. Okada's normally really stoic, doesn't really show much frustration. Here he was showing anger towards the end. He was looking pissed off. And it was great to see that side of him. Ospreay showing a lot more aggression. I love those stomps in like Okada's face and neck, and I think it was Kevin Kelly calls later. You can still see the boot print on Okada's face
from kicking it.
My only gripe with the end, I would have liked the Rainmaker pose. We didn't get a Wrestle Kingdom Rainmaker pose zoom out shot.
You got it from Will.
We got it from Will, but they ain't zooming out on Will. I thought that would have just been the icing on the cake for the Rainmaker at the end. But really, really fantastic match, and definitely one I'm going to go back and rewatch pretty soon.
Yeah, I need to rewatch this again. I thought this was an instant classic. I thought this was just two guys going in. I had such high expectations, and I feel like that can like ruin wrestling and ruin movies. If someone says, hey, the new Mandalorian is the greatest thing you'll ever watch in your entire life, and then like you might be like, well, hey man, like it was good, but like fuck. This match was great. I think already your match of the year contender. Obviously, Wrestle Kingdom comes around on the 4th and 5th. You're gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna say that because it's the start of the year. But this is in the runnings, most definitely. This was great.
In the Twitch room, Rishi's saying, yeah, but B would have called out to Will that he hit the Rainmaker pose if he did it, and then he wouldn't have been. Don't care. I'm suspending my disbelief. I want the pose. I want the zoom out.
I love that Okada got the Rainmaker. I kind of love that Okada beat him. They can go back to this match down the line. Hopefully not in the near future because I think they need some space here. But it gives Okada the story. I love storytelling in my wrestling, and I totally got it out of this match.
I think what's great is I see this as a Wrestle Kingdom main event for the title one day.
Yeah.
And I think there's still that asterisk next to Ospreay's win.
Yeah.
So kind of technically,
like Kawada and Misawa.
Ospreay's never beaten him. He beat him when Great O'Khan came out and Bea Priestley came out. So it's still kind of in the fans' mind. Okada always beats Ospreay.
Yeah.
Which I think's good because I always like those stakes of is it going to happen again and I think these guys should be a Wrestle Kingdom main event one year, especially if we're doing the 2-night thing.
I mean, that was a main event to some for sure. I really love that match. It's very rare that I tell like my non-wrestling friends. They're like, "Oh, watch any good wrestling lately?" When I tell them I'm podcasting, and I told a few friends already, like, "Hey, if you can find this, check it out." And good responses already. And Okada, he doesn't miss. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. We go to the real main event of night one, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship and the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship on the line, double title. Kota Ibushi challenging the champion Tetsuya Naito. So Kota loses the briefcase, but somehow Naito's like, you know what? Charity case, I'll let you fight me in night one. How about that? How about that, man?
Weird storytelling.
Yeah.
I think.
Hey, we've tried to break each other's necks before. Well, you want to fight me night one and see who can fight Jay White?
I could just fight Jay White.
I could.
But how about I let you drop me on my head a few times first?
He's clearly been dropped on the head a few times if he's making up.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's why.
So, Naito versus Ibushi. And, of course, we had a friend of ours, Jesse from the Six, was rewatching this rivalry to get into the spirit. And, of course, when you watch Naito versus Ibushi at MSG, you see me and you going crazy in the crowd.
It's one of the kickouts.
It's one of the crazy kickouts of the match that me and you are like losing our shit on camera. They cut to us because of those golden triple screwdrivers. But this match is just like their former matches. You know they're going to try to kill each other, and that's what they do here. There's German suplexes on the outside, back and forth. There's this like crazy Kota Ibushi spot where he Huracan Rana's Frankensteiner's Naito off the apron, but they're like flying in midair. They got hops here. This is crazy. It's like gravity was suspended here. There's then Naito with the classic Poison Rana, but he hits it off the top rope, which is nasty. He hits the Destino, but it's a 2 count. There's crazy strike exchanges and power bombs and kamagoyes. And of course, Ibushi goes for the Phoenix Splash, but it's missed. And then another Destino, but Ibushi kicks out. You'd figure he'd get a new move by now. These people keep kicking out of the Destino. It's not Tranquilo. There's then another Kamagoye, but Naito now kicks out of Ibushi's finisher. Naito hits what looks like the pole shift, the Marufuji-like snowplow type, dropping him on the head there. But it's not enough to keep Kota down. There's then and let me make sure I say this right, a V-trigger, and then a Kamagoye. Twice more here. It's like just knees and more knees. And what can I do to keep this guy down? Hit another knee. And that's what Kota Ibushi does. Kamagoye leads Kota Ibushi to win both titles here at WrestleMania. Kota Ibushi has become God.
I really enjoyed this match. It was quite different to their previous ones. There was some craziness, but I wasn't ever worried that one of these guys might die, which I normally have. From
these two
But
fighting.
they went more for a sprint, and I think maybe storytelling-wise, it was both guys going, right, I got to put this guy away right away because I have a match tomorrow. And so it wasn't... This clocks in at 31 minutes, and it felt like a quick 31 minutes, and not necessarily your epic long main event, which we got on night 2. I thought it was really good. And I also kind of liked the quietness of the crowd here, because when they started doing the forearm exchange, you heard like every strike, every pant, every scream just echoes around this
I love
dome.
the echoes. Yeah.
And then when the crowd start like clapping along with each forearm, it makes it echo even more and just makes it sound like this awesome sound effect.
Can we say, like, obviously, watching Wrestle Kingdom in this Tokyo Dome, the way now with the crowd and the echoes and stuff, it's almost like art. It looks beautiful the way New Japan shoots their stuff already, but, like, it looked very cool and sounded very good. You're absolutely right. I thought this, you're right, it was a sprint, yeah.
And all the counters at the end leading to that Kamagoye, I thought were awesome. I'm pretty open. I'm not a big Naito fan. I think he picks and chooses when he wants to kind of switch it on. And you know the opponents he switches it on for, which are Ibushi, Okada, Omega, are the ones he tends...
Not Beer City Bruiser?
Not Beer City Bruiser and not Evil. But I thought both were just on their game tonight. And then the post-match was great as well, because Naito is always this kind of cool, but he always has a chip on his shoulder and seems a bit pissed off about the world. And him handing the titles to Ibushi going into night 2 was a really nice moment.
It was emotional.
Yeah.
Kota Ibushi's IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, he's the champ. Like, yeah, it was really great to see this. I think a lot of fans were happy to see this decision. I am the same. Naito's not like my favorite, but there's times where I'm like, all right, like, yeah. And tonight he definitely stepped it up. I thought this was a banger too. And this, the ending was, for me, the highlight of the whole match was Ibushi being handed the titles, and it's like Rocky's like, oh, I'm not crying, like, what are you talking about? And it's like, like, damn,
this is a long time coming. This is a guy who's been around for forever, it feels like at this point. But obviously he only signed to New Japan a couple of years ago, like actually like put pen to paper and was full-time for them, and from that point forwards it felt the build to this moment,
right?
Because this has been one of the best, if not the best, wrestler on the planet for a good few years.
Oh, yeah.
So it was about time we saw this happen.
Yeah, it was great to see the Golden Star kind of shine here and get the titles, the double titles here, and get his moment, because he's, like you said, he's one of the best. And I like seeing him win the titles here, him posing, holding them both up. It's like this, it could be etched in the history books.
I kind of just want him to make the heavyweight title white as well. It just suits his look, doesn't it?
Because he's God.
Because he's God.
And
he's white and blue.
Yeah, it was great, and the visual of him winning here. But of course, looming in the darkness is the Switchblade, and he comes in looking fresh.
He looked great,
suit. And this was a nice suit too here. And he's like, "Hey, just reminding you that you're not the real champ. You're just holding it for me for a day. So enjoy the night, because it's the only night you're gonna have with it. Because tomorrow it comes home to me." So kind of already like, hey, I'm watching you. What's with wrestling? Give people their moments. We'll
it's all right for Jay.
Yeah.
He's a heel and he's got the match tomorrow. But yeah, we'll get to the other one.
So that was night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom. My match of the night was the Ospreay Okada match. Yeah,
me too. For me, it was really a 2-match show.
Yeah,
it was the final 2.
Yeah,
I don't think anything apart from the Rambo. I don't think anything was bad. There was no bad wrestling, but there wasn't. It didn't quite feel like Wrestle Kingdom, apart from the Ospreay match. Like even the Naito Ibushi one, we've seen them fight a lot, and the moment was lovely at the end. But 100% Ospreay Okada.
Yeah, I got what I wanted. I got my money's worth. I got that feeling I wanted when I watched Wrestle Kingdom. When I watched these guys in the highest form possible perform their art here, and it definitely hit me with that match from start to finish, from the entrances to the finish. Definitely got that feeling. But then we go into night 2.
Yeah, how do you follow that moment of Kota Ibushi holding up the double championship? Bad luck, Fale.
Yeah, that's how we start off here. Well, there was Stardom matches, but they weren't aired on New Japan World because of some TV rights and stuff like that. But I kind of wanted to see that, so I guess we'll have to check that out. We are subscribed to Stardom now.
We are indeed.
So we have watched some of the matches that they put on, and they're pretty impressive.
Pretty great.
Yeah, especially, of course, Io Shirai versus Kairi Sane.
Oh, very good match.
One of the best matches we've ever seen.
Stood right behind me now.
Here, yes, in our set.
Glad she's okay.
Yeah. Well, we start off with the official show here for night 2, and it's the 4-way match for the Provisional King of Pro Wrestling 2021 trophy. Toru Yano versus Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, and Bushi. All right. Well, I can tell you that Chase Owens and Fale said they had a plan going into this match, and that plan was the Too Sweet Poke of Doom.
Yeah.
Here, the finger poke of doom with the Too Sweet, but it's broken up.
I kind of hoped that would be it.
Yeah, we all were like,
I'd have been really happy with that.
We all gasped. Oh, they're continuing wrestling. Well,
You're not Hogan Nash. You can totally do the finger poke of doom.
Well, it wasn't over. They wrestled for 7 more minutes. That's all I got on this match. Toru Yano slides in near the end with a double cock knocker to Chase Owens and Fale and gets the pin. So I guess you could say Toru Yano is the king of pro wrestling.
Yeah, I see. I mean, this is the 24/7 title essentially, and he's R-Truth. He's just gonna have this title forever.
That's a dream match.
R-Truth and Toru Yano. Yeah, this sucked. This shouldn't be there. Why
was it Suzuki Suzuki Ishii on the card?
Yeah, sorry, none of these guys should have been on the card, or at least not over other people.
Yeah.
At least it was 7 minutes, probably 7 minutes too long, but at least it didn't go any more than that. Put me in a bad mood, especially when I'd have 30 minutes sleep and it's 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
Yeah.
and we know we're doing a show after this and we got some good matches we're actually looking forward to. This pissed me off, Braden.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. and I can... Rob Thomas, Matchbox 20? No. So we go to our next match. That definitely I stayed up the whole time. I didn't sleep going into this. I just stayed up as we're still awake right now. And I was like, okay, are we really missing sleep for this 4-way match? Like, really? I know we're team
I could have. I don't think anyone would have cared if we skipped these two.
I'm sorry. Well, we just did now. So we go to our next match, which is a tag team match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. It is Suzuki Gun, El Desperado, still with the mask, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru going up one or 8, which is Taguchi.
That's and Dark Order, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Master Wato, which I still think is a rib, but they continue not telling us it's a rib. I think it's it can't be a thing. Is it a thing?
It's been a thing for a while now, but yeah it's very strange.
Yeah, well, his hair's not totally blue now.
No.
It's like a nice darker shade, and that's a good thing going for him here. You know what, though? I'm making fun of him. He hits some cool stuff. There's like a corkscrew plancha to the outside. Someone on Twitter said that he looks like a evil Disney villain, and it's definitely getting those vibes here. Evil Disney villain or Backstreet Boy. Not too sure. There's Tenzan, who's he's around. He's hanging around.
Tenzan, again, he was over these two shows more than Ishii, more than Suzuki.
Tenzan's got to get in there. Yeah, he's in there. Taguchi, of course, hitting his bum attacks, his hip attacks, his butt stuff. There's a sleeper suplex at one point, but the finish comes with the Angel's Wings from Desperado, and they retain the titles.
Yeah, this was fine. Again, I don't think it should have really been on there. I like El Desperado. I haven't watched much of their tag matches, but I've heard Kanemaru and Desperado have been a pretty good team. But coming off that crazy match against Hiromu, to go to this, like, I know Taguchi was great and he still shows something, but it's like, dude, it's this guy who loves his bum with this blue wizard. I fuck off, you know?
You summed it up perfectly. It's exactly that on my feelings there. Let's go to our next match, which is the never open weight title. It is Shingo Takagi versus Jeff Cobb here. And the never open weight title is the title that they're just like randomly give to people. Yeah,
this is... well, I put in my notes, what was it? It's these two guys are pretty lit and we don't know what to do with them, so here's a belt, fight for it. Well, it's always been that title, right?
Are these big lads wrestling? They're little big lads wrestling.
Little big lads wrestling.
Yeah, that's what these guys are. So, Enter the Dragon, and it's a tour of the islands. 2 hosses, 2 meat castles going up here to see who's the real badass motherfucker in New Japan. We get them brawling early on, and then on the outside, Jeff hits this like huge belly-to-belly suplex onto Shingo. Looks crazy. Cobb then teases like a splash mountain off the apron to like the outside, which would just kill him. But Shingo gets out of that and then hits a tope con to him to the outside. There's then Cobb, who finally does hit the splash mountain, the razor's edge for a 2 count. Cobb's got a busted nose. There's near falls. They're going back and forth. Shingo hits a DVD for a near fall. Then more crazy exchanges. They're just leveling into each other. There's chops and slaps and strikes. There's Cobb, who goes for what looks like a sit-out pile driver, but then kind of power bombs him. Is it like the Gonzo bomb?
Yeah.
Kind of?
Yeah, just dumps him on his head.
Said he picked it up from his match with Brody King that he had recently. But then there's like a 20 count, but it's of course broken up 19 when they get back in the ring. Shingo hits the Made in Japan for a near fall. There's the Tour of the Islands, which I learned is also a nickname for butt sex, which is great.
You and your butt stuff.
Urban Dictionary is fantastic. Tour of the Islands, but then Cobb's knee is tweaked. He can't capitalize. He goes for it again, but it's more like a moonsault power slam type thing, but it's not enough to end the match. There's pumping bombers, and then last of the Dragon, and the Dragon wins here tonight.
I thought this was outstanding. This up to this point, I think match of the night of both shows. Okay, I think I preferred this to Ospreay Okada. It felt like they went out there and knew the show was shitting the bed, and they were like, "Do you want to just hit each other really hard?" Just as soon as the bell went, they were going into those forearms right away. Both, like, Jeff Cobb's a big guy. You know he can throw people around. But the way Shingo was throwing Cobb around as well. Cobb is someone who I've seen be good before, but then that G1 2 years ago and the G1 this year just really soured me on him. I think this is the best Jeff Cobb match I've ever seen.
100%. I can't.
One of the best Shingo matches as well. And I love Shingo. He's had a lot of bangers, but I loved this match.
I'm not a big fan. I like Jeff Cobb. I've seen some of his stuff on the indies in person and stuff. But when he came to New Japan, I was so excited because I thought he'd fit in right away. But you're right. Those G1 appearances were kind of like, okay, well, you had some cool matches, but it didn't seem like something wasn't clicking or something was off. But tonight he was not off. Him and Shingo went out and just beat each other.
Killed each other. And it got a lot of time as well, which I appreciated. But no wasted time. It was constantly doing something.
I went 21 minutes, 11 seconds.
This completely woke me up, put a big smile on my face. I thought this was great.
I think everyone, I was going on Twitter tonight heavy, and I enjoyed seeing people watching wrestling live at different time zones and stuff, and people seem to think the same thing. They're like, oh, okay, this just happened. Like, oof.
I mean, really, if you're talking best wrestler on the planet, Shingo's got to be in the conversation.
Yes, definitely.
I liked Rocky's comment where we should just name this title the BMF title, which
bad motherfuckers.
Yeah, which completely sums up this belt, I think.
This was a great match. This was more of a sleeper hit on the weekend for some. Like, people were like kind of like sleeping on Jeff Cobb because of some of the stuff he's performed before. But yeah, he stepped up to the plate. Jeff Cobb has definitely arrived after this match. I want to see a rematch. I think Kevin Kelly basically says, "Hey, I know I'm a commentator, but can I ask for a rematch of this?
Can we do this again, please?
We need to watch this again."
Yeah.
Is what they say. Just crazy.
I think these are the guys you need to start mixing Cobb up with more. Have Cobb facing Suzuki, Ishii, all those bad fuckers, you know?
Yeah. Bad motherfuckers. Well, that was awesome. It was definitely a match that I instantly woke up to and was super excited in getting into. Then they do their cleaning. Their good COVID cleaning.
I had a shower.
You did your cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That last match got me hot.
Yeah.
I was excited. I was sweating.
All the perspiration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we have another match that made me... I was gonna say made me expel other liquids from my body, but I don't want to get into it. You could take that as you will, because it's Sanada versus Evil.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
This is the feud that won't die. Started at the New Japan Cup, and fuck, we had to endure all those matches between Evil and Naito, and
Well, you know
now
what
it's
they say.
his tag team partner Sanada.
You know what they say. Everything is evil.
Everything is evil. Yeah.
So these guys hate each other because Evil decided to be evil. Who would have thought that Evil was evil and he turned on his friends, and then it didn't work out? And didn't I say on the best of show with Post Wrestling that New Japan would have been my promotion of the year if they didn't book Evil?
They didn't do a lot of things,
Yeah.
I think.
Well,
But yeah, Evil was a big part of it.
Evil's hanging out with Dick Togo, and they're going to take on Sanada in a singles match. So this is the blood feud, the grudge feud here tonight. There's a lot of Dick on the outside just doing Dick things. The weird part for me is Sanada and Evil hate each other, but they decided to still wear the same matching tag team ring gear.
I mean, yeah, that aside, I wouldn't have got they hated each other until maybe the last 3 minutes of this
Fair.
thing. Sorry, the Paradise Lock is not something I expect from a blood feud.
It's like a sit out, like
The pretzel,
Yeah.
the pretzel lock.
Oh, then he kicks him in the butt.
And then he kicks him in the butt.
literally kicking
sure,
his ass.
Doing that against Toriano, that's funny. Wrestle Kingdom against your tag partner of years and years who stabbed you in the back, turn his back on you, and you're like, I'm just going to fold you up and kick you in the bum.
Kick you around.
Terrible.
There's magic screws and tiger suplexes. There's darkness falls across the land. There's then the ref gets bumped. There's Dick in here. There's a magic killer combo. There's dragon sleepers. Dick is in this thing way too much. And then there's like a neck choking thing, but Sanada's had enough. He gets out of there and he levels Dick to go.
No, it's the garrote, the kind of metal
bar rope thing,
wire thing.
Yeah.
And it's so, whenever they do this spot, they're so lazy because it's literally Evil just holds the referee, and apparently the referee's neck can't move because he can't see behind him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he gets out and then drop kicks Evil into him, I believe.
So he sends Evil into Dick, sending him sort of flying, whereas he just gets hit a little bit and then he decides to just jump off the apron and elbow drop a table with no one on it, and tells it that he got sent through it.
I think part of it is these New Japan tables are a lot harder than the US ones. So if you don't jump through it like this dude
I'm sure
did,
this one was gimmicked more, but like this guy just decided...
he completely just jumped through the table.
So ridiculous.
But I think maybe he was worried that it wouldn't break. I don't know.
You know what we're talking
But
about. You've seen the gif.
it looks so funny. He just decides... You've seen Ric Flair elbow dropping his suit jacket.
Yeah.
This is him
He
elbow
just
dropping.
decides he really hates tables and was like, I gotta jump off here.
Oh, it's so funny.
I am the table, yeah. Oh, wow. I forgot about the match that was happening. Well, that happens, and then Evil hits this, like, half and half, but he's not enough to keep Sanada down. But then Sanada hits him with this, like, pop-up kind of TKO, RKO cutter type move, and Sanada pins Evil in 23 minutes, 40 seconds.
Hits the moonsault.
Oh, he hit the moonsault.
he hits
Sorry,
the
yeah,
moonsault.
he hit the RKO thing and then the moonsault and pins him.
I thought once Dick smashed through a table, The end of the match was actually all right. It kind of picked up. I actually got that these guys hate each other. I thought the pacing was better. But my issue is Sanada seems to be a guy that you keep on thinking they're poising for a bigger role, a big push, and I see zero charisma. This was better than their New Japan Cup match or G1 match, I think. Yeah, G1. It was better than that. It's the best match I've seen between the two, but the bar's low. These guys were just kind of wasting time. They didn't bring it enough for me. Both need to seriously step it up. And if this is what you're going to do in the blood feud against your best friend, I don't really care what you're going to do against anyone else.
Yeah, I know Sonata was like the project, and obviously Evil was an attempted project, but both didn't work for me. And I watching this match, I couldn't. There was some stuff I could get into, but I couldn't really care too much. It was kind of dead on arrival for me. Yeah. They had some cool stuff, but ridiculous stuff as well. Like that table bump is so silly. It's laughable.
Too much of it. I don't mind a little bit of cheating. It's almost like a finishing move. It's another move for a heel. But when it's every second, it's doing something. And when it's so obvious as well, where you go, ref, you should be fired. How are you not seeing this? As soon as you're getting held by Evil, be like, all right, you're disqualified. Fuck off.
Yeah, this didn't do too much for me. Yeah, this is as soon as this ended, it was time for me to hit a smoke break, re-up on the green tea, because we had the junior heavyweight title match coming up, and that is Hiromu Takahashi going up against Taiji Ishimori here, and this is the best of the Super Juniors, because not only is the title on the line, but this guy beat all the other Super Juniors in the Super J Cup and the best, so it really solidifies who the best is here. And will Hiromu be... We've seen this match before, but will Hiromu be able to beat him again in different circumstances here? I mentioned in the match the prior night, Takahashi hitting those sunset bombs. Well, the Time Bomb loves hitting bombs as he hits one here, but onto the apron now, onto the back here. There's then, of course, Hiromu loves his running spot where he runs from one end of a building to the other. And he's doing it down the, like, really tiny ramp. But Ishimori is like, yo, I see you running at me for the longest time. It's like, It
was dumb, but it's Hiromu, so he kind of gets away with it.
Ishimori counters this running move and power bombs him essentially on the ramp.
I'm glad he did, because I think it would have made Ishimori look stupid.
I'm glad he did. Yeah, I'm glad he did.
Right?
Is what you said. There's then, like, a huge moonsault from Ishimori. Then his patented snap German suplex out the corner. There's then a 450 splash, but to the arm and, like, hand of Hiromu.
This was crazy. Ishimori's arm targeting was fantastic in this match. Just absolutely bullying Hiromu. And, yeah, this 450 done wrong could just snap that arm. I thought looked fantastic. And I don't think I've seen a 450 to an arm like that before.
Well, he does that, and he's working the arm. There's then Hiromu who comes back with a wheelbarrow into a complete shot. But then Taiji ends up hitting him with this, like, slingshot into the Canadian Destroyer. They're near falls, but then there's strikes back and forth. They're killing each other. And it's Ishimori who's just leveling him with continuing with the right forearms. And he's just crushing Takahashi, where he's, like, folding back. And he keeps trying to get up, but he's dying. Keeps dropping him. Like, so many right forearms in a row here. Like, so many to lose count. But Hiromu keeps getting up. Ishimori runs at him with the satellite into the Gargano escape, or the yes lock at one point here too. But it's like the same way Gargano does it when we watch him. But it's Hiromu now getting to the ropes here. But Ishimori gives the finger guns. He wants to crush him. But Hiromu comes back. He hits the time bomb. Of course, Hiromu's always screaming. He loves screaming. Whether he's in pain or he's in control, he's just screaming. There's then crazy counters. Another, like, satellite into the, like, not even the yes lock, but literally the Gargano escape here with, like, the arm over, bending it backwards because he's been targeting. But Hiromu and him are countering each other's moves, but it's Takahashi finally hitting not the Time Bomb 1, but the Time Bomb 2 to win the junior heavyweight title here at Wrestle Kingdom.
This was great as well. I loved their Best of Super Juniors final match from 3 years ago, I think it was.
3 years ago already, wow.
And I found this was a completely different match to that, but equally as good. I loved it. It felt way more violent. I loved Ishimori's just constant attack. There was the bit, I described it to you as we were watching it. You know, when you're playing like wrestling, like 2K19 or whatever, and you don't have any counters left, and you go for a strike, but they're just that beat ahead of you. So you keep on swinging, and they're cracking you in the face with forearms. This is what Ishimori was doing, and Hiromu not defending himself at all because he's trying to swing at him, but Ishimori just that bit quicker each time. I thought that sequence was awesome. Just some obviously great high flying. That Canadian destroyer out of nowhere was so sweet. I did feel the finish, the Time Bomb 2, kind of was a bit abrupt because I felt...
he was trying to hit it a few times.
He was trying to hit it a few times, but I felt it was still Ishimori on top at that point, and then I felt it was like, right, end of the match, pick you up, Time Bomb 2. But I thought a very, very solid match.
Yeah, this was a lot of just back and forth, but then it definitely became Ishimori like bullying him and beating him down, but the story was great. But Takahashi, like, super hot baby face here. If the crowd could chant, they'd be chanting all for him here, Time Bomb. And I thought this was a lot of fun. The craziness of Super Juniors, but mixed with some pretty, like, technical mat-based stuff. Of course, throwing in destroyers and shit, but just great.
After the match, Hiromu was yelling and just yelling some more.
Yeah.
And
crawling in my skin!
And Chris Charlton translated that he said that this time next year he will be in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh.
Now, if they're doing 2 nights again, I would really love to see, instead of do you win this night to face me on night 2, I'd love to see like night 1 headlined by the juniors and night 2 headlined by the heavyweights.
Yeah.
Unless he's moving up to the heavyweights, I would really like to see Hiromu and whoever just kill it in a junior heavyweight match to end night 1.
Who could be that junior heavyweight to face him though next year?
I think you could build up Desperado again, like that. Their match killed the other day. You've got a year to build someone up in that role. Whether you bring someone in, there's Leo Rush and people like that. I know Andrew Thompson posted that Hiromu's been kind of calling out Leo Rush a bit recently. Maybe that's a match a bit more recent.
Yeah,
but there's enough time to find someone sweet to face against Hiromu.
Yeah, maybe Ospreay if he's still in that division again. You could go to that.
I'd say Ospreay's heavyweight now.
Yeah, I think so too. But who could be someone big enough to main event with Hiromu is the question there. But maybe Naito goes down to Super Juniors. Let's go to our main event, which is the double title match. It all comes down to this. All the stakes. The IWGP Heavyweight and IC titles on the line. Kota Ibushi, the Golden Star, he won it last night, and now he has to defend it against one of his arch nemesis. Nemesis? I don't know. Which is the Switchblade, Jay White, who stole a briefcase from him. He's just been a thorn in this guy's side forever. Switchblade says that he single-handedly sold out MSG in 2019. Had nothing to do with Matt Taven, clearly. And he did it again tonight. All these people are here for him because they know they're going to be breathing with the Switchblade, or will they be shining with the Golden Star, is what I'm asking here. So everything's on the line. Kota Ibushi, Jay White, main event, Wrestle Kingdom 15. And we already have Gato. We have some fucking Gato shit going on here. And it's Switchblade's joking, like, oh, don't get involved. But of course he's meaning, hey, get involved, and keeps pulling the leg of Kota and all that stuff. This match is a Broadway, you could say. There's back suplex on the apron early on. Jake, he's holding him down, bullying him, trying to wreck the face of Kota Ibushi. Which you said is impossible.
It's impossible. It's too beautiful.
Wreck his face.
You can't wreck that.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't here because he's going after the face. There's the ref, Red Shoes. He keeps like, hey, calm down, Switchblade. You're kind of mean. Stop it. But then Kota comes back with a kick. We start to see more of the mean Kota Ibushi. It starts to be this like evolution through the match of like every time Jay White's being a dick, he's like, I'm gonna remember that one.
Yeah.
And that one. I'm writing down a list here. And there's like Jay White, but the continuing to just shut him down every time he tries to come back. There's a victory roll into like another one in a counter where Ibushi just uses the momentum to hit the bastard driver, and then sets up for the Bomaye, and it's so weird hearing no one do the yow.
It normally just echoes throughout that dome, and it was
weird.
It's so weird.
But he goes for it, but it's blocked. There's Kiwi Crushers. There is the Bomaye eventually for a near fall. Jay White uses the ropes with his feet to try to win the same way he won, but Red Shoes sees him and calls him out on his shit. I know people don't like Red Shoes, but he had to get in here. He's like, Jay, not tonight, not this way. Gato is getting involved again. There's then it used to be the Tanahashi tap out, the
TTO.
Yeah, but it's the ITO here. But it's not stopping Kota here. Eventually, Switchblade's just beating down on Kota, slapping him around and everything. And Jay White has made the biggest mistake of his life because he has summoned Killer Ibushi.
Yeah.
Murder Ibushi. Whatever you want to call him. The demon. He's supposed to be God, and he's fighting the devil, we thought, but the devil is inside of him as he awakens here, beating the hell out of Switchblade. Kevin Kelly with the great call. He's literally kicking his ass because he's just stomping him, and then he's like, no, stop, and he's stomping Jay White's ass.
And Jay White, at this point, plays such a pathetic character. When he's being beaten, you almost feel sorry for him. You're like, all right, so ref, call this now. Because he's just cowering, like, I'm sorry, just leave me alone.
So Ibushi's like, hit me, come on, hit me, yelling at him in Japanese, hit me, and he continues to fuck him up. And this is what you're right, Jay White. Even Jay White is in such a low point where he lays down for Kota and says, hey, just pin me, I'm done, just pin me,
fuck this.
And Ibushi's like, no. And he gets on top of him, mounts him, and just starts hitting these palm thrusts. And Red Shoes is like, whoa, calm down. And with this distraction, because Ibushi gets pissed and shoves him, with the ref not looking, Jay White low blows Kota Ibushi, and then he starts to mock him and steal what he was doing, like oh yeah, hit me, like hands behind the back kind of thing, and then just starts to level in again this nasty German suplex, and then another German suplex where Kota Ibushi's landing on his head, but Kota hits his patented German suplex off the ropes here. The last ride for a near fall. There is these sleeper suplexes where Ibushi is completely upside down, dumped on his head.
They do these teases on the top as well. It doesn't get hit, but just I like a tease because it just brings kind of the fear and the excitement of this sleeper suplex coming off the top. But yeah, he hits it twice, 3 times on the mat, just dumping him Ibushi on his head.
If that wasn't enough, Jay White then hits a regal plex for a near fall. There's Kota Ibushi who levels White with a roundhouse kick. He's knocked out. Kota Ibushi climbs the top rope. He hits the Phoenix Splash. 1, 2, but the ref is pulled out of the ring by Gato. I lost it. I was so upset. Gato now has brass knucks, but Kota Ibushi's tired of this Gato shit and hits him with the Kamagoye.
This bit was great because he catches the hand, and as he's holding him, he looks serious and just smiles. And you go, oh, you're dead.
You're gone.
You're dead.
And kills him, double taps him, knocks him out of this match. But as he's distracted with all this, he turns around into the Blade Runner, and Kota Ibushi kicks out at 2.99999, and White doesn't know what to do. So he locks back in the ITO, the submission crusher move here. And Red Shoes is like, Ibushi, you look like you're in pain. Do you give up? And Ibushi keeps trying to get to the ropes, but he can't. Red Shoes is all in there like, hey man, if you want to tap, just tell me. I'll call this shit. But Ibushi just gets into that next level, and he uses his body strength to crawl, dragging both him and White to the ropes. He gets out of it. He goes for a V-trigger, but that's blocked. Eventually, he connects it. The crowd now they're supposed to be quiet, but they are losing their minds, clapping and doing all sorts of noises that they're not allowed to speak, but they're clapping and stomping and just wiling out here. Tokyo Dome going wild. And there's then the smile yet again. Kota Ibushi just has this smirk on his face as he hits a V trigger and then this like reverse Kamagoye. He grabs the arms behind the head of Jay White and then knees him in the back, turns him around and hits the classic Kamagoye, and Kota Ibushi in 48 minutes 5 seconds beats Jay White.
I thought this was tremendous. It didn't feel like it was 48 minutes 5 seconds. Didn't feel like that to me.
No, it didn't.
Apparently, it's the longest main event in Tokyo Dome history.
Wow.
Just surpassing Okada Omega, which was 46 something.
Okay.
Look, I hear people say, "Oh, I much prefer Jay White as a babyface. I much prefer Jay White as a babyface." I never saw him as a babyface. He must be the fucking greatest babyface if you prefer him as that to this. Because what a heel this guy is. I love his just constant talking shit the whole time. Not just with Ibushi, but with the ref as well. It's like, I know, I got 5 seconds. Hey, don't touch... Like when Jay White grabbed him, he's like, don't touch me. It's like, well, you just touch me. Don't touch me, ref. You can't touch me. He's just always talking the whole time. He's such a dick. And I thought with this match, it was the right level of Gedo. I think they do go overboard at times, but it was just the right amount to just stack the odds against Ibushi. And I like that the match went on for quite a bit after Gedo got killed by the Kamagoye. The TTO tease was great, where you really think Ibushi might be out. Of course, Ibushi's not tapping.
Yeah.
But you buy it because just the drama was there. There's a great kick out from Jay as well, which was just he slowly just lifts his shoulder a little bit. It's not a big kick out, and it's just showing how exhausted he is. And it's one of the moments I love in weird match to compare to, but Sting Triple H. Sting is destroyed and he's getting pinned and he just moves his shoulder. And it's something I'm surprised we don't see more of, because I think it's a fantastic kick out spot. I really, really love this match. I'd be interested to see if we get some kind of Jay White character change a bit, because I think he might have won a lot of respect tonight.
Yeah, I thought this match was just fantastic. This delivered on so many, like, just fired off on all the cylinders here. Like, the story going in where we all kind of, it sounds weird, but all of us, we all New Japan fans, we could get together and agree that we kind of didn't want Naito walking out as champ.
No.
And then people went, well, we definitely don't want Jay White. But then you could go, well, the story could make sense. He is the mega heel, where that would make a lot of people upset. But it's supposed to be Wrestle Kingdom. It's WrestleMania, essentially, here. And then Kodo wins on night one. So it's kind of backwards, where you kind of maybe would have booked it tonight to be the final, like, title win. But to kind of win the title from Naito, kind of capping off that feud, to then stepping into the next feud here that's been bubbling for the past few years here, to kind of finally set the score. The dust has settled and Kota Ibushi has done it. I thought the storytelling in this, with Jay White being the bad guy here, genuinely gets heat. Like, you get so mad at him for all the stuff, whether it be Gato stopping the Phoenix Splash for the win, or Switchblade, like, just doing the classic stuff, like, oh, the refs, Kota Ibushi's in the face of the ref, so he low blows him and stuff. Like, it's kind of simple wrestling, and I don't like it when it's overdone, and I felt like it wasn't overdone.
It trod the line, but it wasn't. I think it was just the right amount, because
they're hitting all sorts of crazy shit on each other, where you could bite that. Like, was that Blade Runner it? Was that done? Was Kota done here? There's so many times you could have bit, and I don't know. Does Kota Ibushi just go, yo, fuck my neck? Fuck my neck, bro. So. I don't need it.
He's God.
I'm fucking God.
God doesn't have a neck.
Yeah. He's more. Neck bumps? More. That's what he wants. It seems like that. But he stands tall at the end like he's unfazed here, which is just crazy. This was a classic to me. This was crazy. I don't know if something's going to top this year, but wrestlers are going to have to fucking try. This was crazy. I can't believe Jay White isn't a classic to me, but it was. He's in a few, to be honest, but this was great.
I think maybe the booking, I put out a tweet yesterday that I've talked myself into believing Jay White's going to walk out champion, because it does seem backwards that the crowning moment should be you winning, like the babyface winning the titles for the first time at the end.
Yeah.
Not winning and then defending. But I think because I taught myself into that way of thinking, it made me go into this more open-minded, whereas a week ago I was going, well, Ibushi's winning.
Yeah.
And I really bought at a lot of times in this that it could be White. I don't know. I think my two favorite matches of Wrestle Kingdom as a whole were from this show.
Yeah, I would say the Cobb and Shingo.
Cobb, Shingo, and this one.
Yeah, out of the weekend, there was definitely 4 matches that kind of really set the bar for me. Like 4 things that did it. Yeah, I would say night 2 kind of surpasses night 1 just because of this match alone for me. But it did have those 2 bangers, whereas night 1 kind of had the one epic one for me.
I think we said the same thing last year. There's a great one night show out of these 2 shows, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
You have this match, maybe sack off the Naito match, although I did enjoy the Naito match. You have the Shingo one, you have the Ospreay Okada, you have the Hiromu Ishimori. Yeah, I thought night 2 was very, very solid after we got over the hump of those first 2 matches.
It's like you go to a concert when that was a thing. And you're waiting for the main headliner, but like they put a few openers in there, and you're like, but I'm in it.
And then Evil Sonata is the stuff off the new album, and you're like, yeah, just cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You played a couple of bangers, but I don't want any of that new album shit.
Yeah, that new album didn't really work, so we gotta make a new album next year. Maybe it'll work. I thought the story of Kota Ibushi finally winning and paying and getting his dues here, like showing the story of him. He did it. He beat both these guys, and he proved that like he's the shining golden star, and I thought it was great. The storytelling of that, it's akin to Daniel Bryan WrestleMania. He finally did it, especially with 2 belts too. Yeah. 2 titles, holding them up here. It just looks super epic, and I'm super happy that they went with this because you could have done Jay White and it would have been like, Jay White, ha ha ha, and it's like it's funny, it's cool, but
I'm just glad it was a good match.
Yeah,
and I think the feel-good feeling at the end is the right way to come out of this. And now, so Ibushi's already God. Apparently his next aim is to live until he's 150. I believe he could do this, because this guy looks younger than me, I think. And he's in his 40s, isn't he?
He lives 25 hours a day.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure out how he does that.
He sleeps an hour later every day. So he
weird.
still sleeps for 7 hours. He's not awake for 25 hours.
Right.
But if he goes to bed, like, we're going to go to bed today at like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And then he'll get up 7 hours from then, which is 4 p.m.
Weird.
And then tomorrow he'll go to sleep at 10 a.m.
This is why
and
he's
then
God.
11.
This
That's why he's going to live until he's 150.
This is why he's double champ.
COVID ain't touching this guy.
So Jay White loses and he signs to NXT the next day, or what? I don't know. Is that
Maybe.
5 years ago today was the whole Bullet Club, AJ Styles, the Good Brothers, and Nakamura leaving. So there's your conspiracy hats. No, Kenny Omega didn't show up, but you know who did? Sonata.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that already. That's how forgettable
Sonata's
this
in
guy
the
is.
ring already. Like when Terry Funk showed up when
It
Ric Flair was
was, it
there.
was.
It's like, hey, cool, you won, but I want to be the first person to challenge you. And Ibushi's like, nah.
I'd love if Ibushi just went, "Yeah, can you fuck off?
Yeah.
I've wrestled like a lot this weekend. A lot more than you."
He says, I want to wrestle you. I'll wrestle anyone, anywhere. It doesn't matter. Therefore, the conspiracy theorists can put their hats back on because anywhere, anyone. Ibushi's got a lot of belts now. And we know there's a belt collector out there. And I still think that there's a story to be told between the golden lovers out there between Kenny and Ibushi. I feel like someone, those two, but someday.
Well, I'm looking forward to hoping we get the anniversary show this year because Hiromu Ibushi, because at the anniversary show they do junior heavyweight versus heavyweight.
Yeah.
That's a match I want to see.
Yeah, that's
more so than Sonata, but I think Sonata Ibushi could be a good match.
It could be. Sonata is someone who doesn't. He's a good wrestler. He looks cool. He's a handsome man. He's no Ibushi, but he's a handsome man. something's just doesn't flow. It doesn't click the same storytelling.
Charisma.
The charisma just isn't
not
there.
all there.
Yeah, so I really enjoy it. I'm happy we made this a tradition here in our household of where we watch Japanese wrestling at weird times of the night and people think we're crazy. Unless you're watching it with us too, because then you go, you know what it's all about, because it definitely delivered. I'm happy we stayed up late in the wee hours of the night to watch this stuff, because it delivered. It was great. I love New Japan Pro Wrestling. The first thing I get to do when we're allowed to travel and go places, I'm doing Wrestle Kingdom, and I'm doing Super Mario World in Japan. That's the number one thing. So we'll get a upNXT crew to go to a future Wrestle Kingdom in the near. I need some strong zeros, man. I'm stoked. This was great. I can't decide if I liked Ospreay Okada over this match, the main event for second night. I absolutely loved both those matches, and it's going to be a lot of matches. It's going to be hard to top these two this year.
I think maybe the main event tonight was my match of the two.
I'm leaning on that
but
too.
Shingo versus Cobb is really up there as well.
Yeah, these were killer. This is what I like out of my wrestling. I like actual wrestling where they treat it like a sport and has the storytelling and all that stuff, and they absolutely delivered with that here tonight. Great stuff. And the four-way and the Rambo.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Shall we go to some feedback?
Yes, we shall.
Let's start with Hugh from Melbourne.
Hey.
First of all, can I just say how nice it is to be able to watch a big show live in the evening here in Australia? Yes, you may say that. 2 wonderful nights of wrestling here. I've got to give top match honours to Okada Ospreay. Thought Ospreay would win, but the return of the Rainmaker was a great finish anyway. I'm guessing Will takes the New Japan Cup. Shingo Jeff Cobb was brilliant as well, and if this were a one-night show, it would have gotten the time it deserved. It wouldn't have gotten the time it deserved. This is the Jeff Cobb I've been waiting for the last 18 months of his New Japan run. Some thoughts on the returning Young Lions. I think Great-O-Khan is genuinely into his Chinese zombie character, but I wish he'd bring in more of his legit amateur background. As he is now, he'll be a solid fixture in the Never scene. The same can't be said for Master Watto, who doesn't seem to have faith in his gimmick or have good enough striking to make Kung Fu Master believable. 3 things I want to see from NJPW this year. Give Hanare a Never shot, give Zack the IC belt, and for everyone's sake, unify the tag belts. That would make the division a lot stronger. I agree with you.
They definitely need to split the IC title away. It's cool if Ibushi loses.
I think split them and unify the tags. I'm down with you there.
Do the Keith Lee, just give it away.
Yeah.
No, I don't want this
anymore.
Yeah,
I'm God. I don't need this.
That would have been Naito to do that.
Yeah.
He still didn't do it. We go to MJ from NJ. He says, fabulous main event with great in-ring storytelling. Loved some of the segments and the match that seemed extremely logical, like Jay not going for puns early. Jay was a fantastic heel wrestler.
I think it means
tonight.
pins.
Yeah, I think so too. Ishimori and Hiromu had a hell of a match, very different from night one. Was more vicious than I thought. I need to go watch Cobb and Shingo. Oh, he joined in.
Yeah, he overslept. Missed Cobb Shingo. And finally, we go to Chris Price. Both nights of Wrestle Kingdom were great. Ibushi was awesome both nights, but today's Ibushi versus Jay White has just set the bar for my match of 2021. I was shouting at the TV. So great to be invested so much in a match.
That will be said. I absolutely did the same thing as you did there, my friend, because Chris Price, I was shouting at the TV screen. One, because I love when they get me on near falls and pins. You know, you love wrestling when they get you on those near falls, but when you think like, oh, what, Jay White's gonna win, and he's gonna win it that way? No, I was screaming and howling, and you know, that's what I love about this wrestling stuff. It's the same when you watch TVs and movies and stuff like that. Like you want to get into it. You want to get absolutely sucked in.
For sure, yeah.
Where you forget what you're even doing.
You watch a horror film, you want to be scared.
Yeah,
you watch
exactly.
a romantic comedy, you want to laugh and cry. You know, same with wrestling. You want to be invested. You want to be screaming.
I was. There was everything in that. From Kota Ibushi hitting all the Kamagoyes, Bumayes, V-triggers. Even a spinning lariat, I think, was a little tribute maybe to Brody Lee out there. But just top to bottom, great stuff. 2 thumbs up for Wrestle Kingdom. It was a lot of work to watch and talk about, but damn it, we did it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought they did a pretty solid job. Questionable booking, like the actual matches that were booked on the undercard, but that aside, I thought they knocked it out the park. Home run for me.
Yes, definitely. So thank you for listening, whether it be on the Twitch or the Patreon. The Patreon this month is stacked. We got the Royal Rumble Zoom game. We got a Royal Rumble watch along and post show. We have a Up Yours where a World Champ patron has picked Royal Rumble 1995, the event. We're going to review the whole thing there, including the Rumble match. So that'll be super fun. We have a bunch of Was Next out this week. Talking about Luke Harper will be talking about there even more indeed. So, and the tag tournament and such and so much more. But at Up Next Podcast, Twitter and Instagram, because you already know we post all the stuff that we've been doing, including staying up till it's 8:30 as we're recording this right now. Yeah, we have not slept.
I'm worried because I'm not tired now, and I do need to go to sleep because I'm going to be watching Impact in a few hours
with the other guy.
Bit of a change from this, but. Hopefully they'll knock it out the park as well.
Yeah, it'll be so good. Well, then you get to watch Kenny, and maybe he has congratulated Kota Ibushi on Twitter yesterday. He's like, congrats. I see you.
I see you.
Those titles look really nice and shiny. I'd like to get my paws on those too, says that.
Kota's like, can everyone just leave me alone?
Leave me alone. I just won.
I
just won. I want to just... shoot fireworks and celebrate with my titles.
All right.
Shout out Kota Ibushi. Shout out New Japan. Shout out you for listening and supporting us here. I myself, Braden Herrington, at the Brady on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
Take care of yourselves. Happy New Year. Happy Wrestle Kingdom. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And I know Kota Ibushi's God, so is that what that lyric has been the whole time? I'm God.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.